What up, Queens and Kings? We are back. And last where we left off, we were talking about songs that really stuck with us during
situations like the lyric, our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same.
you feel me? Like we was asking the question on the before the intermission, what song out there did y'all resonate with during a relationship and after the relationship?
Like if it doesn't seem the same now. You said yours was an anime one.
Yeah, mine was from the anime Soul Eater, and it was one of the endings. It was called Style, and that song really. Every time I played that song, I would think of her, and
It's because you felt that the lyrics.
it was the
Was
lyrics.
similar?
It was because it was a journey of Maka. No, not Maka. It was who was old buddy with the pink hair, and he had Ragnarok for the sword.
I don't know his name, but I know which one you're talking about. He had like this dress on.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
He was walking in the sand by himself. Next thing you know, Maka came through and was like, "Hey, why you by yourself?" And then like, "Oh, I'm gonna walk with you. You got a friend now." Now they're friends, and I looked at it in a different perspective. Like I'm walking by myself with Ragnarok in my hand, and next thing you know, she come out of nowhere, and that was it was a thought of, damn. Now I look at this song, I look at her, I look at us. And now it's over. I'm still going back to the song, but as I'm going back to the song is fading away from its meaning. Now it's becoming back to its original, where I left it, where I found it.
Yeah.
There's no meaning in it. So like that was the question that we was bringing up from this line of verse 1.
You were laughing. Mine is the Tigger song.
Who?
The Tigger song.
The wonderful thing about Tigger.
Yeah.
What the what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, from the Tigger movie.
Why is that?
So I've always loved the Tigger movie. That was one of my favorite films.
I think out of the Winnie the Pooh movies, I like the Heffalump.
The Heffalump.
The Heffalump.
The Heffalump one,
That was my favorite.
That's
one.
a good one
It
too.
was with Rue. I feel like Rue was my favorite character.
I think Rue had a movie too.
He did.
But
The Heffalump was with Piglet.
no, Rue got cool with the Heffalump.
Okay. Then I'm
But
talking
Piglet
about
scared
the
of
right.
everything.
But yeah.
But yeah, mine was the Tigger song. I've always loved the Tigger movie. It's kind of one that I would always see myself watching as a kid during the winter.
Do you ever come back, like, well, I guess you just put your label out the winter time. Do you
Yeah.
ever come back every other winter and just watch it?
Yeah, I do. Now, growing up, I didn't date a lot.
So you put that song, like, with somebody?
I'm giving you the breakdown.
Okay.
Okay. So growing up, like I said, I didn't really date. I didn't really do anything. I stayed to myself. And then I got my first relationship in college.
And y'all vibed off the Winnie the Pooh.
Not almost, kind of. So with him, we were friends first. Like, just like real, like, because like I said, I always kind of been one of the guys. So he was like bro and stuff. And then eventually it evolved into my first ever relationship. And so there was a lot of stuff within that relationship. But one of the things, even before the relationship.
Pause. Did you say he started off as a bro?
Yeah, like bro.
Hey, brothers, y'all watch out there. If she called, quote unquote, her bro, then think twice.
What you mean think twice?
No, I'm just
bullshitting on that bullshit. So, and no, like for real, I was just like, I was cool with the dude. I've always been that way. I've always been very cool with the dudes. I was always a tomboy, but eventually it got to the point where like he actually expressed his real feelings and shit, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then it evolved and stuff into that. I had to be convinced to give that a shot because I was just like, fuck no. But the one thing we were cool about was we both grew up with our favorite movie being the Tigger movie. And so because we became like one of the closest in like our friend group, even before we went on to a relationship, he was kind of like an older brother, like most of the time. Like he looked out for me, like he always like you know, like tried to like take care of me and all that stuff. And sometimes he would
sing that movie.
He would sing that for me. He legit would. Like, he would sit there and sing the song for me. Like, if he saw I was having a shitty day, or if he saw I was having a bad day, or if I was stressed, or just to make me smile, he would do the voice and everything, and he would even do the roar at the end of it. So after we started dating, he joined the Army, and I remember he was in basic training, like when they go off for like their basic training and stuff, and he would call me, and at the end of the call, he would always, even if like half the dudes that he was with was in the room, he would still sing it and do the roar. And I remember one time you could hear all the dudes in the back going, oh, or laughing and shit like that. But I appreciated that, like, he still would even do it. Like, he didn't care, wasn't embarrassed or anything like that. And then after our relationship ended the way that it did, when I hear the Tigger song, it's bittersweet. Because I still love it, because I had a love for it before I ever met him. But then with that memory attached to it, it's kind of like, oh, that bitch.
But check this, going like mentioning friends earlier. The next lines on verse 1 says, when our friends talk about you, all it does is just tear me down. With that line, I want to say that's a bittersweet moment too, because
you're being reminded,
but you also being reminded of, no, I left that shit. Like, I'm the runaway. I'm good now. Like, it's a moment of when it happened, after it happened, and after it happened, which means like a couple of years, like a couple months, to where you thinking about it now, and now it's like that thought. What were you saying? It's like, oh, that bitch. Like,
well, but for him, it's not all that bitch. Like, she did me dirty. It's like, I did miss out on that bitch. Okay, on to the, like, you know, because at the end of the day, life needs to go on. But then he goes forward to say, because my heart breaks a little when I hear your name. So it's kind of like every time he's reminded of her, it's kind of like that remorse starts settling in again. That feeling,
especially from his point of view,
right?
Like saying how we were breaking the track itself down before the verses. Like, yeah, I get totally that. Like, and then
no, what?
No,
what?
I'm changing my mind. I can't date in the friend circle. That sound like drama.
What you talking about?
Because looking at,
when our friends, but again, we don't know how long they've been. Like you said, from when what you read up on it, it was a long time girlfriend. So who's to say, like, in the long term, however long they've been gone, at like 10 years, 8 years, 4 years, they would have acclimated the same friends
that everybody
knows. So if they're like around, they're not going to stop being friends with her because y'all broke up.
But they're just not going to be in the same building with each other.
Right. So like they might.
So it's like we're all the same friends, but y'all going to pick and choose when to hang out with.
Right. Or if y'all going to be cordial if you see each other in the same building. But it's kind of like, oh yeah, have y'all heard from Jessica? Oh my gosh, she's doing so well. And he's just sitting there like, Jessica, like, I remember.
Damn.
I should have bought her flowers. Yeah, it's like that. At least that's what I'm thinking. That's my vision of it. But then it goes.
You just gave me an image of, because my heart break every a little though, just
a little, because it's a tiny painful reminder. It's not enough to kill you. It's a little reminder. And then that's when he goes on to that part. I'm gonna skip past the parts on the pre-chorus, but that's when he goes on to what you stated, which is the case for a lot of people. You're still learning, too young, too dumb to realize. Like, you don't realize. A lot of people feel like people are going to always be there, or that people are obligated to not change or get fed up with your stuff.
That's a hidden prison.
That's
a hidden trap, because I won't classify myself to be a victim. I never put myself in a victim chair. I always say experience, because it's a journey. It's an experience you go through. But being in that experience, it's like, I'll wait for you. that's
Baby,
that's the start of you
you.
signing into that prison.
Mm.
That's the start of you being in that 7-year hell of you got opportunities out there. The next thing you
I
know,
can relate with you.
Yeah.
I can definitely relate with you on that in the terms of like that previous relationship that I was speaking of. It's because I know I do have a loyalty portion of myself that is killer. It is so killer. And I had so many people telling me like, what you waiting for? Why you waiting? Like there's like you said, there's other opportunity out there for you. There's other fish in the sea and stuff like that.
I ain't trying to go fishing, damn it.
Like I caught mine. But it does show to me. It does show that like everything's not always set in stone, and also stuff changes, life shifts, and really, like I said, for me, I knew I was like I just needed to hear. Never got that, but I just needed to like shit. Let me go. You're gonna let me go, but from the understanding that I have or had, you know, the loyalty was not wavered or anything like that. But I definitely agree with you how it can definitely feel like a prison.
Yeah, it's like you're reserving yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't even know you have a blind time limit to how long you reserve yourself. And what's so toxic about that situation is that I feel like the significant other at the time would take that advantage, but only come through and check up on you whenever they saw fit.
It's at their convenience, because at the end of the day, they see a lot of people, even some people who don't even realize it, or you got the narcissists who do realize and they take full advantage. When somebody notices that they got somebody with a strong loyalty personality, they will take full advantage. You're going to be there. You're always going to be there. I had a friend who said that she saw that. Like, it was like, oh, I know you're going to be there. Hold up. It's kind of like you should. Nothing's wrong with being secured of the fact that you know you have somebody there that loves you and would be there for you. But don't get complacent. Do not get complacent. Do not feel like they're just some loyal dog. Like, that person is there for you and choose to be loyal to you because it is their choice. Mm-hmm. And just like they can choose to be with you, they can also choose to leave you. Just because in this narrative, you're seeing the strong as like loyalty can be. Shoot, just like that song that you showed us when with Joyner Lucas and and J. Cole. J. Cole even said, like, she curved them dudes in her DMs like it was just natural. Like, you sitting there thinking, like, nobody hitting her up. No, they hitting her up. She's just that loyal to you that she doesn't do no crap like that. And don't think that she never had the choice to. She chose to stay fiercely loyal. So I think with a lot of people thinking, or like we say, like being too young, too dumb to realize that people can change, people can get sick of it, people can just at one point just take the hint. Even if you don't feel like it's a hint, you feel like you're out there doing whatever the hell it is that you want to do, and they're going to forgive you and everything's going to be okay. Sometimes it's not going to end that way. It's not guaranteed.
There's always an end to every journey.
Mm-hmm.
But on the chorus, he come through and he says that he should have bought her flowers. He should have held her hand. Should have gave all his hours when he had the chance. So looking through all of this, it's like
different forms of effort.
Different forms of effort that he had.
That he could have done, or could have done more of.
Could have done a little bit better of. Yeah. It's like how I mentioned earlier. This is how I feel like him getting used to a whole new lifestyle. And for this to be a personal song, a real life song that he wrote himself, everybody, the public, seen that relationship break into what it was because, he was getting used to a new lifestyle that he didn't know how to juggle.
Right.
He didn't know how to keep who he was before the fame named Bruno Mars, if that's his real name.
You know, I don't mean to cut y'all, but don't especially since I saw the video pop up. Ain't this kind of almost Charlene? Anthony Hamilton. Right there.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Right there. Because he was going into his music.
Woke up this morning, found this
letter that she wrote. She says she's tired that I'm always on the road.
Oh shit.
Too hard to swallow being alone. Shit. She says she needs someone at night that she can hold.
Facts.
And she really knows I love this music thing.
That's exactly what it is.
It's almost a reminiscence of Charlene, where even at the end of the music video, I believe they had him go bang on her mama though. In the music video, and in the reminiscence of him like crying, it's just like they do have some couples that get to that point where it's like it can cause friction. It can cause like a separation or a distance if there isn't something that you can, if you're not putting in like, I feel like a person can understand.
That goes back to your question earlier though about the loyalty somebody has for whoever. The loyalty you can have for somebody. And I want to say, which, like on a side note, Queens and Kings, like I could come to y'all on the next rebuttal episode to this with another ballad, but we're gonna give this young brother a lesson from one of the OGs on how to carry the relationship. Aside from,
who is he about to pick?
You feel me? I got you.
That's my question.
But yeah, going back to that note of like, I for sure forgot.
Well, you were saying like going back of like how the loyalty, people's loyalty, and the thing I feel like, at least for my perception, from my perspective, there was nothing wrong with the loyalty of the women. Oh, you know who I just thought of too that also has a ballad like that? Shit. I just thought of a second one. More recent and relative, not to say Bruno isn't, but I'm saying like more so in like the R&B community. Trey Songz has a song like that, as well as Chris Brown. Trey Songz has Fumble. I fumbled your heart. He said you did everything I've asked of you. And you know, all the stuff with the lyrics on that. And then you had Chris Brown where he had that song Discover.
How does that one go?
He said, this time she's really out my life. Oh, I know I gotta get her back.
Nah, I sure don't remember that.
Oh, I gotta show you that one. That's actually one of that was when he released the song Royalty after his daughter was born.
I remember that.
That was a good album. And he had a lot of, I felt, remorseful songs. It sounded like they were written towards Karuchi at the time, but they like Discover. He was like, I discover.
You want me to say your name, girl?
Karuchi.
Yeah, damn.
That boy was trying, but she was checked out. Like she was done. What's the date? Got checked. But yeah, there's I feel like it wasn't necessarily a problem with the loyalty. I think, like you said, like being young, and I would say more so naive. Being young and naive, you're still learning the ropes of it, and just not juggling well, or just not seeing what's important at that time of some things that some people hold really dear. There are people who understand that if you're like working, if like what you're doing requires a lot of work, but the effort that you give in apologizing for the fact that I can't make a bunch of dinners or I can't make quality time a lot, when I'm there, you're gonna see me give it. Like, please understand that, like, yeah, I'm doing like this hustle stuff, but the effort that you give while you're away, I feel like is what helps a lot. Like one of them, even though, yeah, it's probably like a reach for some people because, you know, they have the money and stuff to do so. But I remember this one video of Beyonce, and she's counting down the days until she can take I don't even remember if it was a 6-hour or a 12-hour flight to go see Jay-Z for like 2 or 3 hours and then get back on it. Like, to that sacrifice Like, no, she didn't have to. She didn't have to fly all those hours to go see him for a couple of hours to just fly back. She could have just very well stayed where she was, or even when he stopped for her music video for Patricia, to legit only be on set for like a few hours, he flew to Paris to do that.
Queens and kings, all I want to say is act your age. Just because Beyonce and Jay-Z did it, don't mean you ain't got to fly all the way out to San Francisco to see your man for about like 2 hours. So, yeah, that was it.
Wait, what? You completely confused me there.
No, I was just reminding them to act their wage because they ain't got to.
Oh, yeah. You said wage. Okay, I thought you said age. I was like, wait. No. Of course, act your wage, and of course your person's going to be considerate. But I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about the effort.
I was just being funny.
No, I know what you mean. Like, but think, okay, if I want to give y'all like a good example, your person lives 6 hours away from you. They probably got 1 day off. So they drive the 6 hours to come spend that 1 day with you, only to drive 6 hours. That's sacrifice. That's an effort that you appreciate. That's an effort that you probably both reciprocate. That's what I'm talking about. You probably work like 12-hour days, but it's your girl or your dude's birthday the next day. You dog tired, but to show your appreciation, you still make that effort to do something. And trust me, if you don't have a narcissistic partner, they will appreciate that effort to the point that it's the main thing they realize is that you are showing up, you are acknowledging, you are trying. Like you said, people, not only do people also have to act like their wage, their partners also got to see their wage. So if you stuck with a narcissistic person who sees that you have a job that probably leaves you a little bit for leisure, but they expect you to go buy them a Gucci bag, then bitch, you need to go check your priorities. Okay. If they're able to get you your favorite meal, or even if they're able to like actually save to get you that eventually, appreciate that shit.
That's all facts.
It's all for real. And it can be a double-edged sword, but I feel like people know when people's giving a fucking effort.
True.
And you know when somebody's just being unappreciative. And I feel like that's the difference. And for me with the song, Bruno was just saying those small things, at least from what he's showing so far in the song, that she asked for, he felt that he could have done more. Like, I could have held your hand. I could have been more affectionate to you. You asked for affection. I could have gave you more of that, but I chose not to.
And I feel like as a man, this is where I respect us, or just anybody going through that standpoint of knowing that they did wrong. I respect the fact that you come back and you acknowledge that. It's the acknowledgement which he
as well.
Come through on verse 2, and he says, my pride, my ego, my needs, and my selfish ways caused a good strong woman like you to walk out my life. Now I'll never get to clean up the mess I made, and it haunts me every time I close my eyes.
Realizing that opportunity has gone, but to also be able to, like you said, recognize those toxic ways that you had in that time, and calling out like the selfish ways. Like, you're expecting everything to be done for you. You're expecting that person to show up for you. You're expecting that person to be understanding for you. But what about them? And what if they are, or if they have been pretty much buckling down on everything? Like, they've been the main one compromising for everything. And all she wants you to do is take her out to dance. All she wants you to do is hold her hand. All she wants you to do is spend time with her. But what did you keep telling her? I don't have time. I'm busy. What was it?
I'm trying to get my career popping. You know.
What was it? Her birthday? You didn't call. Like, what? And sometimes with people who realize somebody's like super busy, or somebody has like a lot going on, they're understanding to the point. And this is where I can resonate, kings and queens, because I was in a situation where the person had a lot going on. I was understanding of that. I never tried to get in the way of that or tried to make anybody choose. So you get to the point, you know how earlier we spoke about how you felt like in the begging and how you were in like a lower vibrational of yourself. I was to the point that I was taking practically scraps of time, scraps of effort, scraps. Like the main thing I would want, and I felt that I was a very simple person. Like I didn't need, you didn't have to take me to like a bougie restaurant. That's nice, but I was so simple, Dre. A drive is good for me. Going car watching or people watching, that was stimulating to me. Going to a park, that stimulated to me. And sure, if you can take me to a nice restaurant or a nice event or something like that, that's nice, but it didn't require all of that.
Well,
and
my future, I'm gonna take you to Big Mama High first, and then we're gonna take you to the McDonald's, and then I'm gonna take you I'm gonna take you all the fast food restaurants first before we move over to
Cheesecake Factory.
You feel me? We gotta go through the food journey before we. No, I'm adventurous, y'all. You feel me? But the
thing is, it's like it's the effort, it's the time. Like I would sit there and be understanding that he was a workaholic and that he was working a lot. I even supported it, and even in times where like he worked himself where he got sick, I would always like like try to take care and spend time and stuff. And I'd be like, yeah, like you can just come over. It's okay. We just have like spend like a couple hours together. I wouldn't even get that. It was scraps. Like probably physically see them once a month. And when I did, it made me feel like a personal fucking call girl. It's a fucking hoe. I felt I was like the personal hoe. And even still, the hours weren't. There was nothing. There was just absolutely nothing, and the person was like content with that. So it's like, how long do you expect the person to give you everything that you're asking for, all the understanding that you're asking for, and they're compromising, realizing that you're not pursuing an average job, you're not pursuing an average career, you're doing something that's going to eat up all your time. So the little effort that we can we do that? And then you still don't.
See, Queens and Kings, this is what I want to let y'all know before we transition over to the outro where we're closing this episode out. But with a relationship, to extend what we heard Bianna express is, from my opinion, from my whole personal opinion, in a relationship, there are 3 streets. And I say this in being, there's your street, there's the significant other street, but then there's that one street that's for us. There's that street that's for the both of y'all. And everybody has their own agenda. You have your own agenda. The significant other has their own agenda. But when it comes down to that one street where it's us, it's everything about the joint of, not joint, like a joint account, but it's like, that's our time. Everything within this street, that's us. It's no individuals. Like, I know, but I respect the single, like your own street. You got to respect that one person life
because they are individual.
But here's where that could still hurt, because that other person is on their street for that long time and not really acknowledging whenever you switching lanes over to this joint street. All right, when you gonna switch your lane too? Like, I'm waiting for you on this accord. And
like, where's your compromise? Where's your reciprocation?
Yes. Like you're.
It has to be a mutual understanding, not constantly asking the other person to simply only understand me. I don't have to make the effort to understand you. No, it is a joint effort. And you have to show up.
Facts. So, hope y'all understood that analogy that came from me. But we'll check y'all out on the outro of this episode. Be right back.
Yup. Welcome back, kings and queens. Now we're going to talk about the bridge of the song.
The bridge of the song, to me, I
Yeah.
want to say like this. I want to say officially adding back to our new structure, but bringing in some old structure. The bridge of the song has to be the reason why I put the song on my playlist. This has to be probably my favorite portion.
Is it the accountability?
Yeah, it's always the accountability for me, because just speaking for me as a man, it's always I'm gonna check my bullshit before somebody else check my bullshit, and I'm gonna acknowledge my bullshit before the opportunity just passed. So if I know I did this, I know I'm gonna go to my lady at the end of the day before she hear from anybody else, third person, and not myself, that hey, this person is pregnant. This happened during that time. We were in this situation. I'm telling you because I love you and respect you enough to even let you know this, and I don't want you to hear from anybody else aside from me.
Right.
You can take the situation how you want to take it, and I'm gonna have to just deal with whatever you go on.
The consequences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with this verse, he goes in to say, although it hurts, I'll be the first to say I was wrong. I respect that. I know I'm probably much too late to try and apologize for my mistakes, but I just want you to know. Then he goes on to the chorus. But that whole verse is basically like, look, I know I did this. I know it hurt you that bad for you to even chunk the high deuce to me and really say I'm done. But like the fact that I'm acknowledging this, hoping that it's not too late, but which it is, hey.
He's taking the situation for what it is. I think what I can also appreciate, like once it goes to the chorus, was it's like, I know I missed out, but I hope you find somebody that actually deserves you. Exactly. Like, because when he goes into, I hope he buys you flowers, and I hope he holds your hand, gives you all his hours when he has the chance, take you to every party because he remembers how much you love to dance, and do everything he should have done do everything I should have done when I was your man. So to go off of, like you said, taking that accountability for his actions in the relationship going, but then also wishing her well and wishing that she finds somebody worthy of the love that she gives.
That's the proper closure.
Hell yeah.
Whenever you think of closure and don't have no context behind it, you hear the initial reaction, fuck closure. Don't nobody need closure. You don't need to go to that other person on some reconciliation and be like, look, it's this, it's that, I'm sorry, boom, let's close it on a positive note. You never get that advice from anybody in the now of age. Or I'm just speaking from my opinion. If you have, then look, all praise is due to you, and great, good healing, positive energy to that person.
Right.
But on a normal, it's like, this is proper closure. This is you acknowledging your wrongs, you going to your significant other, giving that proper apology, into hopes y'all can mend things off on like a great friendship at the end of just that bad trip. Like I said, it's always an experience. It's never a label until that ring come into the picture. So that's
I like the closing as well. I feel like I feel like it is a good thing, like if you actually get to experience closure. But at the same time, you also can picture that maybe they didn't get the closure, but he knows within himself, he wishes her well. He's not wishing his downfall of his ex. He's not, let me beat that pussy up one more time. He's not like, don't go live in life without me or nothing like that. He's realizing that he missed out. on his opportunity and taking accountability of that, and just wishes her well for the type of man that he feels that she actually deserves. And if, especially because, you know, you never know, he could be feeling like he still isn't to the point of where he wants to be as a man before he gets in a relationship. So who is he to try and corner her? Maybe he realizes, no, you definitely deserve somebody that is going to give you what you deserve. And right now, I'm definitely not at that point, but I'm going to wish you well because you are deserving of that.
That's where it's you, it's not me come from. That's the real meaning behind that. So it's like,
to me, it's especially, it shows it's a very earnest song. It's not making it so much about him, because he's realizing, like, you know, no, I did what I did, and I learned. Now take what you've learned from it. And if anything, he sees it as a lesson. This was a golden lesson that he needed, and sometimes that's what people are. People are lessons for you. And yes, you can sit there and be like, woulda, shoulda, coulda, or the one that got away. No, treat it like the person that gave you the lesson that you needed to learn.
Facts. So Queens and Kings, that was When I Wasn't That Man by Bruno Mars. This is episode, I said 19.
You said 19.
Yeah,
and our first ballad.
Let us know what y'all thought about it on our comment section for our YouTube channel below. And Bianna, let's rate this track of choice for the night. If you could give it 1 out of 10 stars, what is coming off of?
I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
What about you?
I say I'll give it a solid 8.
A solid 8?
Solid
so
8.
We both at an 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So I say an 8 simply because I feel like there's so much. Now, granted, it's beautifully written the way that it is, but I feel like there could have been a bit more build, or maybe I'm just being greedy, because the song is fairly short.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that, just that I'm a bit more greedy. Honestly, I think it's because I feel like it's very short. I'm not happy with how it's over. It is a great song, but I would say for me, I'm just being greedy. I would just want more.
I can get you. That's how I feel about a couple of other favorite tracks of mine, but I feel like this song just had strict intentions. Like, he was going through what he was going through at the time of this song, so it was basically like, look, I need to really express this. This is like something he just really needed to get off his chest. They say you make the best things whenever you just going through some trauma, whenever you just going through some shit. That's when your best work just come out to play.
Right.
And this is just the product of that.
But you said this is on your playlist, though, right?
Yeah, it is.
It is not on mine. But not to be mean, I don't have breakup songs on my playlist. I'm really trying to go back and think. No, I don't.
You remember that playlist I was telling you about?
Yeah.
Where I don't go to it every so often.
The melancholy.
That one.
Yeah.
That's just a part of that playlist.
Yeah, I don't. Y'all, I have to be in my feelings for me to go search the song. I don't add it or anything like that. But I can definitely see this being on the melancholy playlist.
Yeah,
just a reminiscence.
Yeah. So check this out. I'm gonna give y'all a quick preview of who we got coming to our track choice for episode 20. So I figured I'd bring an OG into the quiet storm hours of the vibes and speak with our young boy Bruno Mars and
teach him something.
You feel me? Come on, teach him a little bit of
toxicity.
It's exactly what that is. After watching this recent music video, but we got brother Jaheim coming to the vibes. Our next episode, we will be indulging on the track of choice. Put that woman first. Well,
that's the title.
Okay, I was about to say put your woman first. But
put that woman first.
Put that woman first, y'all.
What do we say? I'm telling your brother, you better put your woman first.
You feel me? Well, look, we hope y'all enjoyed everything y'all heard on tonight's episode.
Yes.
Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Come over, tell a friend. join the Vibes family as we continue to grow and just perfect to this excellence.
Yes. Thank you guys for sticking with us this far. We appreciate ya.
All love, all love. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Vibes, a new way.
Boop.